Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you're a recurring viewer. So today I built, or not today, actually, this week I built another model. I made another model and you get to see the process of doing so. So what I did is I made another color. For those recurring viewers, I really have a thing for those, so there will be a few more coming in the next, or jewelry in general will come in the next few weeks. I think this is something that I just want to play around with, try, and yeah, in general develop more in between other things. So we'll see how all of this comes together. So I started with a tube. Cut out a part of this and then I subdivided it, and right now I'm using the extrusion tool to give this a bit more detail. And you can see that I moved it up and down, back and forth a bit to actually get the angle right, and I will actually edit this a bit more in the process because I was never actually happy with the final result, or with the final setting. But yeah, the base thing is really just a tube with 3 sections, and I extruded the upper and the lower section for the outer rim that you see, and I used the connect tool to actually add a few more lines so that the shape is not completely moving out of sync when I smooth this down. I usually use the smoothing factor 2. This works for what I'm doing. This works best, is what I say. It doesn't overdo it. My PC can can handle the 2 quite good, but it still works very well. Yeah. And yeah, I'm doing the UV maps in between. Right now I'm working on the UV map for the color. Yeah, and the color is, or the idea is that the color can be closed, but it isn't by default. Just so this is why the 2 half rings are there on the front. And with that said, I'm going to go for the detail next, what I call the coin, the connect, and the jewel with the socket. And I tried something different for the coin this time, since I'm really not good with bump maps and I'm really not good with other stuff. I'm trying to actually design these parts by hand. So this is me just designing this by hand, and you can see that I'm using the extrusion tool here again. What I forgot to do is I forgot to put away the symmetry. So when I made the flat coin actually from the tube, I used the symmetry to have both sides flat, and I forgot to turn it off for the shape. So this is this would have the thing on both sides, and this is something that I actually don't want, or didn't want. So first I kept it and I was like, okay, this isn't so bad, this is fine. But later on I will redo the coin in a flip, so it doesn't really matter. Right now I'm working on the next detail, which is the socket for the gem. And you can see that I'm basically, most of this is just tubes with different shapes and sizes. In this case I used a tube to make the socket for the gem, and right now I'm doing the gem itself. You can, for example, connect these or use the connect tool on these lines that go straight up and straight down, and subdivide them, which is a really good tool here to just get this final shape of the gemstone. I used Ruby as a color, but in general this is what I do. Okay, and here we are going for the UV maps of the other things. These UV maps are pretty simple. Yeah, I'm doing these by hand because then I have a better view on how they actually look. And this is why I decided I'm gonna redo the whole coin because of the UV map, actually, because the UV map wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I envisioned. So I'm really just quickly redoing the whole coin here. The absolute same steps. Only difference is I'm removing the symmetry before I do the connection, so I actually have a better S here. I don't know why I went for an S. I think it had something to do with the reference material I was using. I saw it somewhere in there and I was like, okay, this looks cool, I'm gonna use it. But yeah, this is the UV map for this one. If you have some shape like this, you can really just cut it somewhere on one of the rings and you are perfectly fine. But yeah, everything gets like a grouped UV map, more or less. And yeah, now that I've built the base model, that I've built the base mesh, now came the part where I was thinking a lot about different attempts here. So what I did first is I tried to have the color like kind of floating, I guess, and I tried to model the whole group of the ornaments around it, but I decided I'm going to redo the color. I'm going to reposition the color around the neck, and then I can use this ornament mesh or this detail mesh as flat as it is, as it currently presents. And yeah, the next part is copy pasting. So something I do is, if I have like one of these elements, you can just copy paste them. Control C for copy, Control V for paste. Can also Control D for duplicate, but in this case, if you change one mesh, it will change all the mesh. This can be good if you work on something and you want to change it overall, but it can also be bad if you just want to change one specific mesh and not all of the meshes, because this one specific mesh has to be different for some reason. But yeah, one part that is taking time in this is actually aligning all the pieces around the neck. Actually took about, so for the whole thing I took about 40 minutes all in all, so it didn't take that long to actually make the model, but just the alignment of this took a long amount of time because of the frequent changing of the perspective. So I had to actually had a good perspective. I knew, okay, is it too far away from the body, etc. I'm also thinking about rigging this model, like giving each of these extra pieces 2 bones, one for the coin, one for the gem. The idea would be that I can then try to use a script that would give them physics, like jiggle physics for the thing. This is something that I will most likely try, so you will see a weekend on this on the weekend, me rigging this whole thing, and then I will try to see if I can get the script to work. Now that I've found out where they're actually stored, which took me like a year to figure out, I'm sorry for that. Sometimes that is really complex in this case, so I had to just really look where I found it more or less by accident. But yeah, I have an idea where the script that I want to apply to the bones to make them physics is yeah, where it is. So I will try to see if this works. If so, I can also apply this to hair, which would be amazing. But yeah, I copy pasted the left side to the right side, and then I noticed, no, the right side to the left side, then I noticed this doesn't work because the S would be inverted, so I had to do the second side, the left side, also by hand, which is fine. I already had an idea of how to do this, and I'm really pleased with how this got out so evenly, even though I had to do it by hand. Yeah, and that's what I did this time. Enjoy the render at the end, and if you like the channel, get over again and see what else I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of 3D content, so you might find what you're looking for here. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.